I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000, clapping like one. I feel alright, and I feel alright, 'cause I worked it out. Yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I've got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
Well, hello, I'm Jerry McKee, and welcome to Prime Time. It is Monday, you can see, of course, by the clocks, and also you can see by that little stopwatch went by that everybody says, wow, that just takes forever to do, because they're just sitting there watching, like you said, watching Waterboy. And we're going to be talking to VICAR Green Band. I wanted to get that VICAR Green in there, because we're going to find out what VICAR Green means. I've been curious about that now for about a week. And we're going to have Erine Lawson and Tommy Lawson here. And she's one of the singers, and he plays and sings, and you're going to experience some of their music also. And let me switch over to where you can see who they are. How y'all doing?
Great. Hey, y'all. Good, good.
Well, that is great. And let me make sure we got everything. Yes. Okay. And so y'all had to travel a ways and ways to get here in Buffalo, South Carolina.
It was a very, very long journey down the Riley Road.
Exactly. If I'm not mistaken, you live at the end of Riley Road?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Was that where the horses at?
Yes.
That's where I thought they was at right there. Was the horses there? Because I come through and see them all the time through there, and it looks like they good and healthy. They got plenty to eat.
That is the home of VICAR Green Studio.
That's where the garage is at.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I see it in there.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I could have had you from your garage there. Then when you have to come here, we'll just reach there. But I figured, well, you're just down the road from me, so we'll just get you here.
A lot more noise down there on the farm in the background, though.
Yes. Goats and chickens.
I was going to ask you, got goats
and dogs and
dogs.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So y'all just got a whole complete farm.
Yes.
Wow. Now I know horses are very expensive to keep because they eat a lot, right?
They do. Yeah.
Well, Erine, tell me a little bit about yourself there. I know you're one of the vocals for VICAR Green.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you get into singing? Was it church or?
Since I could open my mouth.
You started singing?
Mm-hmm. In church.
I find out that's where a lot of people start out at, is in church singing.
Mm-hmm. Pat Cantrell and Tommy and Susan Henderson, Tammy Pridemore, they are all who trained me.
Wow. Now, was the first time that you got up to sing in front of an audience, was you scared or a little shy?
Well, I don't remember.
Don't remember?
I was probably like 5.
Like 5. Well, I can remember because, I really admire people that sings and can remember the words to the song. Mm-hmm. I have a horrible time with words of a song. Yeah. I get distracted. I'm like a hound dog, and sees a squirrel, all of a sudden it just, darts out like that. I could be in church singing. Mm-hmm. I'm on like verse 3, they're still on 2, and so it just kind of messes up a little bit like that. Mm-hmm. But Tommy, tell me a bit about yourself there. When you was first growing up, how did you fall in love with the guitar? Did you have someone that showed you, or?
Well, actually, from an early childhood, I was in music. I mean, started on piano, and it then led into band in middle school and high school, and played multiple instruments there. But was just always just kind of inherently into music. And I had an older brother that was very chastising, so I usually hit it when I sang. But at that age, I actually got away from it for a long time, and then guitar was my first instrument back into it. It kind of got me back into the fold, and it all went from there.
What was your first instruments that you played, started playing, or got interested in?
The very first was piano at an early childhood. But when I got into band, I started on the clarinet, and that bred into a lot of other things. I mean, by the end of high school, as many courses as I had open, I would be just putting another band class in there, whether it was jazz band or symphonic band or whatever was offered, just kind of filling the slots that I had open with playing other instruments and trying other instruments. And
now, did any of your family played? Your father or grandfather, or that really kind of got you going?
Grandmother, in fact, she was a piano teacher here in Buffalo for decades. Her name was Ruth Lawson, and she was probably the intro to that. But my dad played a little bit in high school, but he didn't really continue that. But there was a little bit of roots to get me started, but not anybody else that kind of followed the path.
Right. Erine, do you play any instruments?
No, sir.
She plays the tambourine.
I barely play the tambourine.
She's working on it.
Well, you believe there's a lot of people that sing, and I ask them the same questions, and they don't play an instrument. And one lady I interviewed, she's out of Hendersonville up there. She plays a guitar, but she plays by ear. She doesn't read the notes and like that, and she plays great. And I'm just kind of wondering how that affects, because I've tried picking the guitar up and strumming it, and I just really don't. I'll strum it and really make people mad.
Same. Me too.
So, and of course, you got a good musician that almost lives beside you, Freddie Manaford.
Yes, sir.
And he can play that harmonica and never run out of breath.
Pretty dang good on the guitar too.
Yes, yes.
He wouldn't tout himself as such, but I do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let's first ask you the question. Where did you get the name Vicar Green?
Well, that's kind of racehorse and ahead to another topic there. And it requires a little backstory.
Okay.
As you know, we have a nonprofit organization called According to Josh.
Yes.
Well, in order to define the name Vicar Green, we have to tell you the backstory on According to Josh.
Okay.
Josh Leidy, spelled Lydia, and I
But
think
it is in fact Leidy.
I think he eventually just kind of succumbed to being called Lydia because that's how it was spelled. It became somewhat of a just affectionate stage name because so many people mispronounced it, but it was Josh Leidy. He was a wonderful friend to both of us. Even though our exposure to him was limited, he was a wonderful friend to everyone he ever met. And he touched so many lives through what he did. He was always involved in charity work and benefits and driving other musicians to do the same. As a matter of fact, if you were close to him at all, he'd tell you, if you're not using your talents to help other people, then you're wasting what God gave you. Kind of in a how dare you type of sense. And very much drove other musicians to get involved in the good works and the charitable works. And he touched so many lives when he did that. When he fell on his own hard time, Erine here, before I ever met her, and it was right in the midst of COVID. Everything was shut down.
Oh, yes.
There was no way to go throw a benefit somewhere in his honor and raise money for him. So she had the idea, and we'll let you tell your meeting story of him. But she had the idea, let's do something online. And I think this was within a week. She said, we're going to do this in 5 days from now, or whatever it was. It was very quick. Let's do a benefit online. And she created this group. And I think at first it was called Music for Josh, or something.
Day of Music for Josh.
A Day of Music for Josh.
Now, does Josh, does he, I heard you say something playing the instrument?
He was a guitar player and a singer.
Okay.
And primarily he played in a group called Mudbridge Road.
Okay.
Which we are honored to have some of the members of in our own band now. But so she came up with this idea, and I saw it, and I contacted her, and I said, hey, I want to be a part of this in whatever format. And I said, I'm just a cover artist. I haven't paid my dues, So if the slots get filled up, which they will, I'm happy to forego my slot, but I want to help.
Right.
I've got a lot of knowledge in the technical world and the sound world. I can just be a liaison, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was originally touted to be a one-day event. And it got so much love poured into it that it became an all-weekend event.
Wow.
And even that filled up. And so we had people going live before the official event. We had people going live on the page after the official event. And you really got to see how many people Josh Leidy touched throughout his works. And that benefit that weekend, along with a couple other, minor events, I think it raised nearly $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All online because of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't because the event was successful. It's because he was successful in touching people in his life. And on his unfortunate passing, he requested that we continue that. So that is the root of where the word vicar comes from. Because as most people will know, vicar is most commonly used in the church.
Right.
And the vicars are there to act in place of the priest when they are not there.
Right.
It is the root word of the word vicarious. You're acting vicariously in place of. So that's where that came from. And we have the desire in our band to continue that work and continue that notion. And we have a large drive to continue charitable works, and donating time to help other people. And then that group, which was initially, a Day of Music for Josh, became the According to Josh nonprofit organization. Because it is the works according to Josh.
Right.
So that is the root of it. And then the green was pretty simplistic. It's just the color of rebirth and renewal and recycling.
Regrowth.
And,
Yes.
Regrowth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's where it came from. Yeah. We had to give a long story to get to that point.
Well, that's fine. I've heard long stories with names. It's like, I don't know if you've heard of John Cavity and Beaver Brown Band.
I have not.
It's old school stuff again. And actually, I think he's still even going on tour. And I asked him in an interview about where did you get the name Beaver Brown Band. He said they locked themselves up in a garage, and they wasn't coming out till they had a name because their label people said you got to have a name. Mm-hmm. And they stayed in there for hours, and they had to look over, and there was a can of paint that had Beaver Brown on it. Mm-hmm. So that's where they got their name at. So, and that's really what interests me a lot about names. How did they come up with some of these names?
And I wanted something as a band name so people would say, what does that mean? What does that mean? Right. So it gives us the opportunity to continue speaking about Josh when they ask us, what does that name mean?
Okay. I know you do some covers music, and we're going to listen to some of it here in a few minutes. Do you write your own music?
We have been working on several different things. Honestly, within the first few years, and we are still in the first few years of our forming, we have been just trying to focus on getting a set list together with all of the members that we can go out and gig and perform, so that we're able to do those things. So that has been the primary focus for the last 3 years. Now we are finally starting to sit down and start to write and gather some ideas. And we've got a few in the works that will be coming out shortly, but we don't have anything original released just yet.
Right.
But
it takes a lot as far as to write a song, because I've talked to several, they just can't sit down, and you probably have some that can, that it takes time. I mean, you might write down a sentence, you might write down a word,
Yeah.
you know, and then it gets put together, because you got to put music behind it too. It's not just
Right.
writing it out.
Exactly.
To me, I had a musician told me, he says, to call yourself a songwriter, you have to put music with it. If you don't, you're just writing poetry. So we're gonna get to one day hear some great things that you've written.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
hopefully very soon.
Yes, that's the plan.
Well, I know, because I'll pop on and I'll see you pop on Facebook and you're playing, and it looks like you have fun doing
We
it.
have a great time.
And that's one of the key things. If you make it a chore, then you're really working. And if I was going to ask you about some of your band members too, if you want to talk about what they do, what they play, because I did see a bass player, not bass player, but, yeah, I guess it is, yeah. With the beard.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So he kind of stuck out when I was watching yesterday. Actually, I thought he plays that pretty good.
That's Joe Phillips.
Joe Phillips.
Honestly, I kind of wish he was here.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the members of the Mudbridge Road Band.
Of Josh's band.
That Josh was in.
Oh, okay.
And our drummer, Monica Laddie. Gordon, is Josh's sister.
Oh, okay.
And we are honored to have them involved in continuing the work. Is what we're trying to do.
And Kevin.
It's
We just
very,
picked up Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin is the newest member. We brought him in on lead position, Kevin Godfrey. And he also does sound and stuff. So he's a very, very big blessing to have around. So now we have, two sound men and a sound man in training over here, Mr. Larry, who's off camera.
Someone in training, right?
That's right. Now Larry does good. I don't want to undercut him, but Kevin has been a blessing, and he has a style that I love very much. That is not like everybody else's lead player,
Right.
And we definitely want to keep kind of an original sound, even if we're covering songs. We want to have our own sound to it.
Right.
And so many lead players just fall into the trap of patterns and normal expectations. And Kevin strives to go against the grain in that regard. And I myself like that a lot.
Well, I know that I listen to a lot of cover bands, because a lot of times I have to use cover to play some of the music in the background because of copyrights and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think they get caught up in trying to be like the artist that sung that song.
You're absolutely right.
And to me, that just takes it away. It's almost karaoke style. And I used to play karaoke for a lot of people singing. One time at the fair, and I tell you what, I think it was 99.9% were horrible. That 1% was good. I couldn't wait for that week to get over with.
Do you remember me coming and singing at the fair, karaoke one night, and you asked me to come back and you would clear everything off and just let me sing?
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yes, because you're that 1% on it. But a lot of people does cover. They get too much into that character to sound like them, and you got to have your own sound, even though you're singing it. And I've seen some cover songs that they made it their own. They turned some different notes. They did a little bit different, and to me, it was better than the original artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
No, I do think there's a place for both. I mean, I find it equally amazing with people that can just play verbatim and sound just like them. I mean, and there's a place for that.
Right.
There's tribute bands where that's what people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
They want to hear, they go buy a ticket to hear something that sounds just like the original. And there's a place for it.
Right.
But that's not the place we're trying to be in.
Right. Well, you want to make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Individuality. Now, the guy that plays the bass behind you, what's his name
That's
again?
Joe Phillips.
Joe. Does he sing? And
He sings a little bit
Yeah.
here and there. He's starting to get a little more vocal in certain songs.
yeah, when I seen him playing, first thing come to mind is it's all about that bass. And he probably could play that also.
Probably.
Yeah. Now,
Hey, might need to bring that one back up.
I know.
oh,
It's on the set list.
oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, it was a prospective song on the set list.
Yes.
It's a nice song. I like it, and it had a good beat to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yes, it's a fun song. It's just like back in my days years ago, a band would play and they would play the chicken song, or where you'd flap good beat
Yeah.
to it, and you flap your arms, and it wasn't like the kids' chicken song, but something else.
Yeah.
And so I like those fun songs. But you got to get people up to dance and to appreciate your music.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking in the audience like that, how do you feel the audience? I mean, I know sometimes you have to read them, right?
Absolutely.
To see what type of music that you got to play, or maybe even switch up. So tell me a little bit how you evaluate that.
That is a hard thing to quantify. I go out and play solo a lot, so I have a lot of exposure to that kind of thing. And, I can go out and play 4 hours without a tablet and just play all the stuff that I have memorized, but they're going to get a certain kind of thing for the whole show. When I do have my cheat sheet, my little tablet in front of me, I can kind of read the audience and gauge by their requests, and that's a huge proponent of that, is what people are requesting, or what the age range of your audience is. You can kind of guesstimate kind of the era that they're looking to hear. And when I've got my cheat sheet, I've got nearly 600 songs at my disposal. And so, much to the rest of the band's dismay, often when we're out gigging together, I'll kind of take that reading and say, "Hey, let's play this song you guys have never played before."
Springing on them, right?
He does not understand what Tommy, this is what we're going to do. This set, we're going to do this right here.
I don't know what a set list is.
No.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
We'll practice that. If we're going on a gig, we'll practice that. That we say we're going to do. Might as well not, because once we get there, he's not going to do it.
It's exactly for that reason.
But
though.
it's for that reason.
You're taking that reading of the crowd and figuring out what their age range is and what their kind of their era is.
Well, like I was asking you, what John Cameron, you be Randy, and no. And to me, I mean, they was big when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And and I used to DJ, like I said, DJ stuff and like that. And they still get me to do that sometimes. I got a little small equipment. I don't really like doing it that much. But I can tell as soon as I get there, if it's going to be dancing or not.
Yeah.
And I always tell my wife, I says, there's no dancing. They'll listen to the music, and they'll listen to some of the music that they want on there, and I bring back some of the old school stuff, and they get up and dance. And it really blows my mind sometimes that how do they know some of this old stuff? They've heard it probably on a commercial somewhere. But reading them and having to switch up, I can see where you could switch up. It amazes me that you can remember 600 some songs.
Well, I can't remember them. That's what the cheat sheet's for.
Oh, okay.
That's why you got the tablet.
And it's pretty controversial these days. A lot of artists, musicians, and other people in the world kind of talk trash about having the iPad on the stage. And I mean, I get it. There's a lot of artists out there that are playing and they're staring at this screen and they're not involved with the crowd, and it's bad, and it's not good. It's not conducive to entertainment in a way. But I feel confidently there's a big difference between someone who has to stare at that or just using it as reference to remember. And being able to play without that and still entertain. Because I know the difference between just getting up there and playing everything that I have memorized and how that goes over with a crowd, and getting up there and being able to read the crowd and play stuff that is conducive to their era or their mood or their genre or whatever else. And the tip bucket shows that as well.
So when you're playing in a big audience like that, do you have times when you really can't take requests, but you still got those ones that come up and want requests?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I know that can really throw you off in one sense if you're breaking your pattern, because you've already done practice these right here. You know what you want to do. It's up there. And
well, it messes them up. I'm just up there having a good time, dragging them along with me.
You have to straighten them out sometimes like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Honestly, there's nothing more that I enjoy when we're out playing live. When I get this wide-eyed, "What are you doing?" look from Erine right here. I find it very endearing. And
I have several looks.
It makes me smile very big. she'll just.
What are some of the places that you just really enjoy going back and playing venues, and you can name them, that's fine too, that you really enjoy going back and playing?
I mean, I would say that our favorite place to play is probably Events by the River down in Woodruff.
Oh, okay.
That's owned by Mr. Tony Thaxton.
He does a lot of good stuff down there. Very family friendly, right on the river. He's got a big wooden stage. He's got a big wooden stage. It's very nice down there. He allows people to camp.
Yeah, I've done several things in Woodruff, live stream and interviews and some things down there. It's a nice, lovely town. And,
have you ever been to Events by the River?
I haven't been there.
You should.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to. I've seen it on the sign where they light up, that he's got an event going on.
Yeah.
At the intersection down that way.
The owner down there, Tony Thaxton, he is just a genuinely kind, nice human being.
He's a great guy.
Who wants to offer the community a family-friendly place to be. And it's always a good time down there. Always just very, very inviting.
Folly Beach Porch Fest.
Yeah, Folly Beach Porch Fest is.
I got to go for my first year this past November, and there's music everywhere.
What?
They have different places set up, or different houses, and they have different bands come in to the different houses, and so you can just get on the golf cart and ride around all Folly Beach and listen to.
I mean, or walk. It's not that big.
Or walk. Like, what, 25 bands, I think, were there? for one day, 25 different bands.
Wow, that's almost like Nashville going down Broad Street, that main road there, where Music Road.
It's
where
it's a very,
band
very
after
cool
band
event.
after band.
It's an amazing event. We had a great time.
Yeah, you know, and to me, I think unions should entertain some of these things like that. I know we have about once in a while, usually during festivals and stuff, but something in between.
Well, we would love to actually start up something like that in the future. With the ATJ, according to Josh organization. Now, granted, we're still working on our 501c3 designation that will allow us to get some larger donations from municipalities and corporations and things like that. But we would love to put on an event like that.
Well, you know, they're building the amphitheater. They'll be building that right there. So to me, that's some opportunities for stuff like this to happen, where people can say, "Hey, there's nothing to do. Let's go down here. They're gonna got this band going." Actually, Dr. Flood's the one that talked to me. He says, "Hey, have you ever heard the VICAR band?" I said, "Well, I've heard of them." He says, "Yeah." Says, "You need to get with them."
Well, thank you, Dr. Flood.
Yes, we love us some Dr. Flood.
Yeah, he's a character, and he's someone. He's a doctor, but yet it's like talking to me and you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you don't get that too often with doctors. He was on my show also.
Oh, was he?
That to grill him a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to listen to some of your music. We're going to let people hear what you sound like.
I hope you've picked some good ones.
And well, I took two that you did yesterday.
Okay.
And the first song, that's one of my favorite songs too. So we're going to let them listen. We won't be able to hear it. We'll be able to see it pop up here.
So I walked right up, pulled him to the side. I handed that man a beer and looked him in the eyes. And I said, "Baby, I think you're gonna want to do this." Then I told him, "Excuse me, you look like you love me. You look like you want me. I want you to come on home. Baby, I don't blame you for looking me up and down across this room. Drunk and I'm ready to leave. You look like you love me."
Well, I was down at the local beer joint with a few guys. And this cute little country girl.
Hey, bro.
Well, let me tell you, she was the prettiest thing I've ever seen in a pair of boots. She walked right up to me, handed me a beer, gave me a look like, "Let's get out of here." That's when I realized that she was every cowboy's dream come true. She told me this right here. She said,
Excuse me, you look like you love me. You look like you want me. I want you to come on home. Baby, I don't blame you for looking me up and down across this room. Drunk and I'm ready to leave. You look like you love me.
"On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, one smell of calypsos rising up through the air. Knocked my head in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. That shit stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. And then she lit up the candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down in the corridor. I thought I
Okay, we're back, and you just got to hear some great singing there. And you know, we was talking about becoming big bands, but it looks like to me you're more comfortable and you probably give more than you take in as a band because what y'all stand for. And
Yes, sir.
it's like myself, even that I give more to the community than I charge and things. You know, I figures this is coming up here. Hey, can you do this for us? And to me, it's giving back, showing the community that you give.
Exactly.
Even though guitars and equipment and all that right there, it's not free, is it?
No.
Certainly not.
We just want to be of service.
Right.
You know, if there's something we can help out, if there's a benefit, we want to do what Josh asked us to do. Use our gifts to help other people who are in need.
Well, you give a lot in the community, and like you said, you went with the fundraisers for Josh, doing other things. You have benefits, and if you like me, it's hard to say no sometimes because if it is helping someone, and especially to me, I've gotten attached to Union here. I've been here probably 30 years now, and I love giving back to this community because it's growing, and we want to see it grow even more. And if I can help with that growth some to get the information out, then I do that. Just like my equipment sits for a whole month, I still got $300 a month going in out from it. But I look at what you give back. And to me, if you get your name out there for one thing, and good things come right in behind it. You don't have to have billions of dollars coming in or anything like that. Well, that'd be nice, but
Right.
But I think you reap what you sow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, did I hear you say something about when you're talking about Josh? According to Josh, was it like some animals or pets, puppies? It was.
Oh, our unofficial dog rescue?
Yes.
Well, that is outside of, according to Josh,
Okay.
Right.
Vicar Green, but
It is, but we do. We went and played at an adoption benefit.
two or three now, I think.
Yeah, but the first one we went and played at.
Yeah.
Tommy and his family went home with a dog. Larry and I went home with a foster dog. Another one of our band family, he went home with a cat. And that started just something at the studio. Tommy's dog, he adopted him from the shelter. Since then, Larry and I have fostered 6 other dogs from the shelter.
Sequentially.
Yes.
They'll foster one until
It gets adopted.
Acquainted to a normal home life.
Right.
And becomes easier to adopt out.
A little bit like rehab, a little bit of rehab.
Right.
But his dog that he adopted has become like the official foster dog.
Like rehabilitation animal.
Rehab, and we take them all out in the studio with us, and we just turn them loose.
Right.
While we're out there.
Big brown dog there.
That's it. That's good.
On a lot of our live streams and videos, you'll see dogs running around in the background, play fighting, and sometimes I'll even have to like lean down while I'm playing and try to calm Goose down.
Yeah, because dogs, they know that it's entertainment. Yes,
Yes.
let's run around.
Absolutely.
I produce a cooking show for my wife, and we used to have a little Chihuahua that's been passed away now, and we should be cooking in there. I was videoing it, and the dog would be going, hack, hack. I said, we can't have the dog in here. It's hacking. There's nothing for a cooking show. It's one hacking in the background.
No.
Yeah,
No.
not great.
Now, they're supposed to, county, start looking in building a shelter. And I think they're trying to model it on like the one in Gaffney. The one in Gaffney is awesome, that shelter. And I hope they model that one and get that one in place. And I hope they do it pretty quickly.
Getting a higher capacity shelter in Union would be a wonderful thing.
The shelter needs fosters.
Yes.
The shelter needs foster homes for these dogs.
And Union's growing. As it grows, the pet population is going to grow.
Yes.
And it's just
It's already an overcrowded shelter all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Now there's a rescue in Carlisle. I don't know if you've ever been down there or not. And I did a show down there before.
Last chance.
Yes. And the lady's super nice there. They've got rooms in there for the cats, you know. But they have got so manicured and really help a lot of animals there. Send them up north, New York, different places like that. So I enjoyed going there and seeing how she reacted and how. And I mean, she's in there cooking in a big stove, you know, cooking for the animals.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so neat.
Yeah, it is.
But now we spoil our animals.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you seen our little tiny cat outside that belongs to my neighbors. And she says he won't come home now. But it's people don't understand that now when you talk about you foster them some, and you put their pictures up and you try to help in the adoption process.
We get them and we just treat them like they're one of ours. We try to learn if the dog is house trained, if the dog is pad trained, if the dog gets along with kids, if the dog gets along with cats, if the dog gets along with other dogs, so that we have the shelter. They're so busy.
Right.
I mean, and all those dogs, they don't have time to go to each dog. You know, that takes somebody taking the dog home and learning all this about the dog. So then when you can learn it, then you can find it a home because you know what the dog is.
And they typically, you know, look for the problem child. You know,
We do.
The unadoptable, the behavioral, you know,
Scared, shut down,
issue dogs.
Yeah.
So that they can take them out and get them acquainted to a life with people and a life with other animals and
Showing them love, basically.
I mean, it's absolute rehabilitation, not just taking an otherwise adoptable dog home until it gets adopted. They do a lot of work to bring them around, you know, the ones that are problematic, and I mean fix them for lack of a better term.
Yeah. And we're so blessed because our whole band family are dog people.
Right.
The whole family that comes, you know, and when we're practicing and things like that.
Actually, our drummer just took one of the fosters.
Right, exactly. Our
recently.
drummer, Monica, the blind Cane Corso that we had for about 5 weeks. We delivered him Christmas morning to our drummer.
Yeah.
For her kids.
So it was a surprise to the kids?
Yes.
It was.
See,
Yeah.
that to me is a great thing.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
It made everybody cry a little bit. You know?
I cried all the way to Gaffney, and I cried all the way home from Gaffney.
Now, with you having all these pets, you get attached to them?
I do, but I know that we have 9 dogs ourselves, Larry and I. That's a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah, and they're not little dogs. They're 30 pounds plus, up to 130 pound dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have 3 Pyrenees.
Yes.
Wow.
I do get attached to them, and it hurts the day they leave. But I know when that one leaves, then there'll be another one that comes.
Right.
But really, in all honesty, what hurts the most is when I have to take them to the vet to have them spayed or neutered, and I can't feed them.
Oh.
And they don't understand why I can't give them breakfast in the mornings. And it makes me feel awful.
Do you cook the breakfast?
No.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because I know some people that they got their pets and they'll fry them up some eggs. They'll do this and that.
Oh no, we do eat some eggs.
No.
The
Well, that
dogs
comes from
and
the
I.
chickens, right?
That's right.
How many chickens you got?
17.
17? And how many goats? Now, I've seen some goats out there.
11.
11. Mm-hmm. Now, do you milk the goats? Or
Not anymore.
okay.
We had the boy goat get in with the girl goats, and then we had a big old mess of goats, and it was a lot.
And then you had too many goats.
And then I had too many goats.
There's anybody out there that wants to buy some goats? Right over here. Miss Erine Robinson. Contact Vicar Green on Facebook.
So they're so cute, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
And they got personalities of their own.
Oh, they're just like dogs.
Yeah.
They're just like dogs.
Yeah. I tell that we're going to get us a goat.
They goose you a little harder.
They do.
They what now?
They
Goose you a little harder.
Oh, button you? Yeah. So you don't have pigs?
One pig.
Oh, really? I just kind of guessed that. Okay, I got to ask you names. Did you name them?
Who, the animals?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me some of the names of the dogs and the goats.
The dogs are Babe, Echo, Becky, Dot, Cassie, Emily Jo, Wyatt, Kobe, and Lila. The pig is Pumpkin. Now, I didn't name her. She came with that name. The goats, oh, Lord, a lot.
I couldn't remember all of myself. If I had that many, there's no way I could remember myself. Dogs.
Five horses?
5 horses.
And I've only seen 3 out there.
The others are on the other side of the house.
The 3 you've seen are the rescue horses.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
That they are elder, and they brought them in and put them under their wallet just because they needed a better life.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, they're old. They're in their 30s.
A question I got about horses, because I'll see once in a while, they with horses sleep standing up, okay, but I see them laying down,
They do.
and I'm thinking, well, if they sleep standing up, then they must be tired of standing up all the time.
Yep. And they'll lay down. Now, a lot of times if it's cold, they'll lay out in the pasture and just soak the sun up.
Oh, okay.
They're just out there sunbathing.
And I've seen that, where there's been frost or something like that, and they be laid out there, and where the sun's coming down and beating on them. And,
Yeah, people used to call me all the time because they would see them stretched out. Is your horse dead? No, they're not.
now, do you ride them in a parade some?
No, I did not.
No? Okay. I've seen once in a while, I'll see some horses in the Christmas parades.
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while.
Oh, yeah, I used to.
Maybe your 2 new ones.
Maybe
Eventually.
so. Yeah, we've got some babies that it's time to start training them. So,
Well, I know I drove up here at my home. Me and Edna did, and I let her out. And before I was getting out of the car, she started screaming, "VICAR!" Thinking, well, it must be a snake. So I ran around the car, and this great big old hog was right here at the corner of our house. It was our neighbors down there named Chumsley and Chumley, and as she was screaming, the pig's tail just a wagging. Like, what is that funny sound? But she was trying to get back in the car, and I didn't have the car locked. So I knew what it was, so I went, come in and got some bread. I said, come on. They followed me down through there and took him home.
oh yeah.
But I thought that was so funny that I thought it was a big snake or something and all. But we love living out here because we see a lot of different animals.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how smart and friendly pigs can be.
Oh, yeah.
Very intelligent. Very intelligent.
Yeah, when I was a child, we had pigs, and we made pets out of them.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd come, when the school bus brought us home, them kids would be, those pigs would just be going, squeak, squeak, wanting us to come out there and play with them. We'd go out, play with them, ride on them.
Yep.
So, now, where are some places that you're going to be coming up that you got on your schedule coming up in the next?
We are
little
playing
while?
at Bullwinkle's Tavern in Simpsonville this Friday. And we've got another gig there, I think, in April and then May, or is it March
Just
and
April.
May?
I thought it was just April. I don't know.
There's 2 more. I can't remember the exact the dates of them, but of course
It's a neat little place.
they'll be up on our page.
Sound like Bullwinkle. That sounds like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Right. It's
a-
kind of like from that. But a very
neat little
family
place.
family-friendly environment down there. And we've got some duo bookings, just me and her, at Wild Wings Cafe and Anderson and Greenville, various, and then the events by the river venue we mentioned. They're going to have a River Fest that we'll be playing at, and then 2 times this year. It's only been one prior to this year. They're going to do what they call a Hippie Fest.
Okay.
2 times this
My
year. I know we're booked for those. And there's all kinds of vendors and food and stuff down there during these events. And it's right on the river. And there's a nice area just covered in rocks that the kids can go run out on. I mean, it's very, very family friendly. We're very much looking forward to those. Those will be, I think currently, those are the only full band shows that we've got on the calendar. The 2 Hippies by the river and the River Fest. Of course, Tony said he would get back to us on some other possible dates for that. But
Do you have? Do you ever played at Wings here?
we have.
Oh, yes.
You know, they've stopped doing a lot of bands on a regular up there. But we're definitely in line to get back on the schedule up there at some point in time. But
We love Shelby and Monk.
oh yeah,
I know Daddy Joe's in Spartanburg, Gaffney, they usually have on Thursdays duos and stuff outside in their little area that they have there, and they usually have a big crowd there. I think Freddie's played there a couple of times, and it's a good venue. And so, if someone wants to book you, how would they find you? What's the numbers, or how can they get a hold of you?
well, currently the best, the immediate point of contact would be our Facebook page, which is just VICAR Green, VICAR, and then color green. And of course, anyone can contact Tommy Lawson or Erine Robinson on Facebook.
TikTok.
Be happy to give out my number.
Okay, well, they go to the
As
page
well.
and pull your number up.
And actually,
And I got
you
it
know,
listed on my pages too.
I do staging and sound as well.
Okay.
And I've got a separate page for that. It's just Tommy Lawson Music, Staging, and Sound. If people were to type in Tommy Lawson Music, they would find that page. And my phone number is listed on that page.
Okay. So you can help someone that's wanting to know a little bit about sound.
Absolutely.
Or if they need, maybe the church is wanting to set up something.
Yes.
You can come in and evaluate and say, this is what you need. And yeah.
Yep.
Because a lot of churches need that.
They do.
You know. Well, I tell you what, the time has flew by, and we're right at the last few minutes. And I really appreciate you both coming on here.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for having us, for sure.
And I was also telling her too that your voice, I don't know if you sing any Jelly Roll songs or not, but you've got similar to his voice.
You know, it's interesting because I get 3 different ones. Jelly Roll's a new one to me. The people are like, oh, you should do these songs. And it is always the most amazing vocalists that I cannot even touch their range. I get Chris Stapleton. I got to change the key of everything of his I cover.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Teddy Swims. Ain't no way I can touch that guy. And then now Jelly Roll. Can't touch him either. I mean, I'd have to drop all that stuff.
Now I've heard you sing, and he would be more closer than the other two.
We've got a couple of Jelly Roll songs on the roster, but I think at least one of them we've had to change the key, if not both. I can't even remember, but I get compared to these amazing vocalists that I am so inferior to that I'll never live up to it.
Well, I appreciate you both coming, and let me tell these people here. And we got you VICAR Green, and go to their Facebook page if you need someone to help you set up your equipment, as far as to teach you how to do that, or you need someone to come in and bring the band in and sing some great songs, which you've heard some into it. Next Monday is going to be Hester Booker. She is an author of a couple books, and she's going to talk about growing up and during segregation and a lot about her childhood and growing up. So we're looking forward to having her on here next week. Well, I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching Primetime with me. Bye.